Arsenal may face ruthless Frank Lampard decision with Mikel Arteta after Chelsea loss. It is never a good sign for a manager under pressure when they make the claim that their star-studded squad is not equipped to mix it with the best. Mikel Arteta risked the wrath of Arsenal superiors after seeing his side slump to a second successive 2-0 defeat, leaving the Spaniard feeling the heat. Chelsea fans would have left the Emirates Stadium feeling delighted with such a convincing result, even though it appeared they had more gears to reach if necessary. The Blues never looked like losing once Romelu Lukaku opened the scoring on his debut, and they kept Arsenal at an arm's length when Reece James crashed home the second. Yet, it was only 8 months ago that the Blues supporters had angrily protested the board's ruthless decision to sack Frank Lampard. The club legend had taken over the club during a turbulent period with no signings allowed due to a transfer ban and the departure of star player Eden Hazard. However, despite introducing several academy players into the side, Lampard guided his side to fourth and an FA Cup final his first season in charge in 2019-20. Justin, Arsenal boss Arteta drops transfer hint after Chelsea loss. When Lampard was handed a blank cheque to overhaul his squad, the Englishman spent £220 million on 7 new signings, including Kai Havertz, Timo Werner and Ben Chilwell. The future looked bright at Stamford Bridge, with Chelsea topping the table in November. But a run of 5 defeats in 8 games saw the club slide down to 9th position, and their top 4 hopes were slipping away from their grasp. Lampard had been hugely popular with the fans for bringing through academy players while maintaining a decent level of success. But the 42-year-old struggled to find the blueprint to take his side to the next level, and his assertion that his talented squad was not ready to challenge for the title was the last straw for Roman Abramovich. Must-read: Arsenal offered hope of signing Tolisso thanks to Tottenham. Arsenal already have £6 million answer to Lacazette issue. Arteta's Arsenal transfer priority emerges after £34 million rejection. I took this job knowing there would be difficult times as it's not a club ready to compete, Lampard said after the 3-1 defeat to Manchester City. We had a transfer ban, we had young players, we had new players. I understand the expectations of this club, whether I think it's right or wrong. We are not in the same position Chelsea were when we were winning titles. The consistency, the robustness, the level of experience of winning Premier Leagues is not the same. He was quickly proven wrong. Former Paris Saint-Germain coach Thomas Tuchel came in and mapped out a rescue plan, which included tightening up the defense with a 3-4-3 formation. 5 months later, the German had achieved 19 clean sheets in 30 games and was celebrating as a Champions League winning coach with exactly the same personnel. Arsenal must be watching the events in West London with some envy and wondering if they too should pull the trigger on Arteta after 20 months in charge. Like Lampard, the 39-year-old has attempted to stamp his authority on the team with a flurry of new signings in his second full season in charge. The Spaniard relentlessly pursued Ben White for months before Arsenal finally agreed a £50 million package to sign him from Brighton, making the 23-year-old their third most expensive signing. Arteta has also swooped to sign Martin Odegaard for a second time after a successful loan stint at the Emirates Stadium last season. Goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale was another high-profile arrival, signing on the same day for £30 million from Sheffield United. Those new signings took Arteta's total expenditure to around £140 million, the most paid out by any club in the Premier League. Still, Arteta's response that his side were unable to compete with Chelsea, having beat them on 3 occasions during his time in charge, seemed somewhat far-fetched. They were the better team, Arteta told Sky Sports. When they play at their best, which I think they did today, they are champions of Europe, have world-class players, and to match at that level is difficult. Time is running out for Arteta to prove he is still the right man for the job. Losing to Chelsea is one thing, but the manner in which his side were dismantled by newly promoted Brentford was one of the most embarrassing moments of his reign to date. If he had one excuse, it is that he was only able to field one of his new signings from the start against Chelsea with Lokonga in midfield, with Tavares coming on as a late substitute. White was absent after contracting the coronavirus, while Odegaard and Ramsdale could not be registered in time. Top scorer from last season Alexander Lacazette was also absent, while Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has only just recovered from COVID-19. Tough tests against Manchester City and North London rivals Tottenham are still to come, with the Gunners realistically needing a win against Norwich to guarantee his job security until those fixtures. But there is only so much patience the Arsenal board will show before the temptation to follow their London rivals and sack Arteta becomes too great to resist.